Whoa! What is that?
Let's begin! Gungrave VR is a mix of third-person and first-person gameplay. The storyline is that South City has turned into a war zone, and a drug called Seed, which gives humans super abilities, has infected the area, so you're given the task to restore hope to the city. There really isn't much storyline here. The majority of it is told through text at the start of the game, and then through mic chatter that has the caller pop up on screen. If you're a newcomer to this series, you will have a hard time caring about what is going on, due to the lack of an in-depth storyline. In the third person stages, there is only snap turning, and as the game is of a fast paced nature, it does seem out of place, as it makes aiming your guns ever so slightly more time consuming. You're not able to always shoot your guns, as they will overheat. You can cool them down at any time though, with a press of a button. You do have quite a few moves you can perform. You can dodge in any direction, which you will need to do quite a bit, as enemy fire will be coming your way a lot, and also the actual enemies will charge towards you. Also helping you to dodge efficiently is the ability to slow down time. This is called Reaper time. Bullet time is usually amazing to experience in VR, and it can be every so often here, but unfortunately the camera jitters a bit in these moments. You have two types of special attacks. To activate one, you must first kill enemies. One of the attacks takes you out of the world briefly in a sort of cutscene. There is a lot of action happening in these moments, which visually looks great, but the sound effects don't really reflect the chaos. It's fun to see this cutscene a few times, but as you progress more into the game, it does start to get on your nerves, as it is immersion breaking. The other special attack gives you a massive gun that deals incredible damage. The problem is that the gun takes up a massive part of the screen in front of you, and when fired, the muzzle flash restricts your view even more. Unless you line up your shot before you start shooting and the enemy doesn't start to move around, you will have a bit of trouble finding your target. One of the boss battles also obstructs your view of incoming attacks, which obviously comes off as a bit unfair when you get hit. The game does have quite a few boss battles. Some are small in size and some are very large. Fighting large enemies in VR is always quite fun because of the depth, and in this game, it's no exception. The actual fights are quite fun too, as they have a bit of variety when it comes to the boss's attacks. Learning to dodge efficiently and when to strike is a must, and overall, they really are the highlight of the game. The first person stages play out like static shooting galleries. You can't move freely around in these, apart from one. They obviously change up the gameplay quite a bit, and the fact that they are mixed in between the third person stages does make the game feel fresh throughout, especially as in one stage you're speeding along some train tracks, and in another you have control over a hover bike. They're not the best shooting stages ever in a VR game, but they are mildly entertaining. The graphics are pretty good, and I was actually quite surprised by how detailed the first stage was. Unfortunately, the other stages that follow don't have the same attention to detail. They're not bad looking by any means, but they never quite reach the same detail found in the first stage. The black smoke found in the hoverbike stage looks amazing though. It's very thick and dark and is some of the best smoke I've seen in VR. Admittedly, it's not massively noteworthy, but it did stand out to me. The first stage does initially get you quite excited about what locations you will see next, but ultimately, the game lets you down, especially when you learn that each area isn't that large to explore and each level is actually over very quickly. There is a tutorial level and 5 stages to complete in total. The stages come with different difficulty settings, which are normal, hard and kick-ass. I found the normal mode to be just about right for a playthrough. It's not majorly difficult, but there are a few parts where you will need to improve your skills to succeed, like in the boss battles. Each difficulty does have scoreboards attached. Completing every stage on normal with an SS rank will unlock a new costume, so there is a bit of replayability here if you want it, which is very welcomed as the game is quite short. It took me around an hour and 10 minutes to beat the game. If you are a trophy hunter though, you will get some more playtime out of it. You get your easy trophies for simply beating the tutorial and each of the game's stages. There is some grindy ones here too, like destroying 50 objects and getting over 1000 headshots. You will also need to kill enemies a certain amount of times with certain weapons. The hardest trophy here is for beating all the stages on normal and achieving an SS rank on each. It really would have been great to see other trophies here tied to the other difficulties. It certainly would have increased replayability. At a glance, Gungrave VR does seem like an amazing experience, and I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy some parts, but certain gameplay elements haven't been given too much thought for VR, like your special abilities. Instead of feeling rewarded and powerful when you finally fill up your ability counter, you're either let down by an immersion breaking transition or are punished with your view being obstructed. It does result in feeling like parts wasn't playtested properly, especially as when you enter slow motion, the camera jitters around. Your position in VR games has to be fluid at all times, so it's odd this wasn't smoothed out. The boss battles are certainly the highlight. They're massive and require you to learn their moves, but it's not really enough to save the game. The first person sections are mildly entertaining, but I doubt many would want to experience them again. Overall, it is quite a forgettable experience.
When will this end? Keep your guard up.
There is also another Gungrave VR game out right now, called Gungrave VR UN, which is a standalone game and not DLC. The review to that game is on screen right now. As always, if you found this review helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more PlayStation VR content.